Anong pangalan mo? What is your name? Debbie. There are many ways to communicate, isn't there? We've had some great examples from Donna. But we can communicate through our words. We can use different languages. Sign language, it's about as far as I can go, apart from thank you. But anyway, we have various ways that we can get our message across. Snail mail. Who sends letters in the mail anymore? Well, Elva does. Jan does. I love getting snail mail. It's so nice. It's been a while. Not that I'm hinting, but you know. But we don't do that as often, do we? Maybe there's the texting and there's Snapchat. Where's Commissioner Doug? Where are you? Do you Snapchat? No. Do you know what it is? No. Yeah, don't worry about it. I wouldn't worry too much. There's phone calls. There's so many ways to communicate with each other. Why then, when we talk about, prayer, which is really having a conversation with God, do we sometimes think that it has to be just sitting there in the chair and just talking away to you, which seems to be to yourself, but and we have this image of it, and that's a beautiful thing to do, and no disregard to that. But we always think there's this set way to praying. Nothing wrong with that, and it can be a very intimate space when you're having this quiet time with God, either sitting at home in your chair. I think I've shared the story once before about John Wesley, and his mother. There was lots of action with kids in the house, and they knew that when she had the apron over her head, they weren't to go near her because that's when she was praying. That's the only quiet space she could find, was in the kitchen with the apron over her head. So she made sure that she made the time to be with God. But prayer can be a beautiful experience, and it can be done in so many different ways. Finding a quiet space to share our hearts with God. But we can also do it, when you're listening to music and just reflecting on the music and praying to God as the words of that song help us find the words that we can't find ourselves. Or journaling, for those who might like to do journaling. And I even got into this once, and I go to it every now and again, Bible journaling, where I have this set Bibles put aside, and I actually do the artwork onto the page of the Bible. But it's my particular journaling Bible, and I'm not very good at it, and I stopped doing it because it didn't look good, and I'm thinking, and someone said to me, it's not about looking good, and no one's going to see it, but it's about using this creative moment to be able to connect with God and to communicate with Him. Sometimes walking through nature. Who likes nature? Walking along the beach or through the bush, or I don't know. We went up to, where did we go, Charlotte? Was it Redwood Forest up in Warrandyte? Such a beautiful, calming spot. Just places where you can just be still. But there are also people who can be in a room with lots of hustle and bustle and noise, and they can sort of block that out, and they like to be in that sort of setting as they can pray, but pray for the people around them and everything that's happening. So many ways, and sometimes we try to think it has to be done in a certain way, this gift of prayer. But when we love an omnipresent God, who knows what omnipresent is? Chris? Everywhere present. When God is everywhere present, we know then we can talk with Him at any time. And I remember sitting in Sunday school once, and I was told, even if you're on the toilet, God is everywhere present. The quiet moments, the strange places, or the beautiful places. He's always with us. And we don't need to narrow down those opportunities or what prayer should look like. So when we chat with God, when we commune with Him, it can be done any time in creative ways that suit our own personality and our own styles. I wonder, when you pray, what do you say to God? What are the things that you ask of Him? Well, Meg had a few things listed down, and she shared this at the 4 o'clock, and I grabbed it when I was preparing for right now, and I thought they were a bit cute. Here's some prayers from some young children. Dear God, please send a new baby for Mummy. Don't pray this one, Charlotte. Please send a new baby for Mummy, because the new baby you sent last week cries too much. Dear God, who did you make smarter, boys or girls? My sister and I want to know. Jimmy, 6 years old. Dear God, how many angels are there in heaven? I'd like to be first kid in my class to know the answer. Norma, 8. Dear God, thank you for the nice day today. You even fooled the TV weatherman. Hank, 7. Dear God, I need a raise in my allowance. Could you please have one of your angels tell my dad? What about this one? Dear God, this is my prayer. Could you please give my brother some brains? Because so far he doesn't have any. Wow. Have you ever prayed and nothing happens? Or maybe the outcome wasn't what you expected. And that does happen a lot. But God answers our prayer with a yes, a no, a wait, or a not yet. It's true, isn't it? Doesn't always happen as we want. Well, prayer is a gift, and we know that because of our relationship with God, we can talk with him at any time. And maybe, we have friends who don't believe in God and the Christian life. They don't have this privilege because they don't know him. So they don't get that extra support when they face challenges in their life. And I remember 2015 was one of probably the worst years of my life. I'm not sure if I've shared anything here before, but I remember this particular year, every 4 months there was just something, and I just thought, oh my goodness, enough is enough. In the January, one of my close members of my family tried to end her life. Then in the May, my brother died, 31 years old, from cancer. Then in the September, my dad died, and then in the December, Rod's mum died, and he had to go home. It was just like, that's enough. And I had someone come to me and ask me, how, are you getting through this particular time? How are you possibly coping with that sort of, intense heartache that was happening for me in those moments? And I could say to them in all honesty that it was because of my relationship with God, because of my ability to talk with him, and he was with me in those experiences, that he was my strength, he was my comforter and my one constant when everything else seemed to be falling apart around me. And that opened up later down the track further opportunity to share with that person, who then came to know God themselves in their life when they saw the difference he made for me in mine. Prayer is, as I said a few times, is a gift. It's a privilege that we have, and it's life-changing. But what I love is that the vast ways that we can actually go about it. And last night we had a prayer and praise night, and thank you to those who were able to be here. And we had various prayer stations within this space and out the back, and we even opened up into the front of the building, and we're able to pray for what is going to happen in that space and ask God for his direction. And it was a really beautiful time. And this morning we're also going to participate in a few different things for a shorter length of time, so just be prepared for that in a moment. But last night I think it was really helpful to be able to take the time to stop and to hear from God. And I wonder if there's anyone in the room, then there could be the deafening silence, but hopefully not, who might be willing to share some of their experiences from last night, how they found it helpful to take part in the prayer stations, or even sitting around and talking together and praying together. Maybe you might like to share how some of that was helpful for you. Maybe you're not always comfortable to try those new things, and maybe you were surprised about how that was a helpful experience. So is there anyone who might like to share this morning about how they found the prayer experience last night, and if something stood out to you?
Sorry, do I need to stand? I just felt a real sense of peace last night, and of course, singing and the music was always so wonderful, and I just felt a real sense of peace, and I thought all the stations were really creative, and I just sat down and just made the little doll, and I don't know, just through the process of making it, I don't really know the right words, but just sitting down and doing this craft, or then going over and writing a song, a line from a song, and linking it to the chain, and I just really enjoyed it.
Thank you, and it was so good to have your son come along as well with his friend, and to get to know him just a little bit as well. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share about how they found it a helpful experience?
My favourite thing was the shredder. It's me. Sorry, I'm not coming from behind. My favourite thing was the shredder. So you got to write down what had happened or what you wanted to talk to God about, and then it was just exhilarating that it went in the shredder and bang, gone. So it was, for me, that was amazing. Yeah. Something that I needed to share with God that I hadn't, and I was trying to deal with it on my own, and so.
That's good. Thank you, Kylie. Anyone else got a mic, or I have one here? Maybe I should have handed out more mics, because it's those people who are holding one that were keen to speak.
I just really appreciated the intentionality of it all. Like, unlike Kylie, when I first sat down, I thought, there's not really anything that I need to confess, like that word. I wouldn't normally think about that. But Phil just said he could give me some ideas. Thanks, Phil. This is between me and God. Anyway, but it's funny, at each place, like, God brought to mind things that I did need to have a think about. And when I said the one about being seen, God brought to mind someone that I think hasn't been seen that I need to reach out to. And like at every station, I wouldn't normally have intentionally gone there in my prayer life. And I think it's great to be involved in something like this, sort of regularly-ish, where you're forced to, not forced, but where there's an intention in seeking God. Is there's something? Because sometimes just day in, day out, life just gets busy, your prayer life gets routined. I have a good prayer life, but it's routined. And I really appreciate the opportunity to step out of a routine and let God speak to me in different spheres. It's really helpful.
Thank you to Commissioner Doug as well. You'll see a little lounge room or a little lounge chair set up over there. He sat there and people were able to just come and be prayed for. And I think it's really beautiful that we're praying with and for each other as well. And so that was a nice time too. Does anyone else want to share anything? Chuka-buka. You don't have a mic. Kylie could just pass it along. Does that work on the live stream, that one?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed the praise and prayers. That's in another day, that is not a Sunday, no. It felt as if we were in church yesterday too, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Well, creative prayer, it can really foster a deep, more closer connection or personal connection with God as we move beyond those traditional ways, and it allows for a greater focus on Him. And Christine Syme is a writer, and she said, "So many good Christian people I talk to are afraid that their prayer life will become stale, their spiritual disciplines empty rituals. Some make this as an excuse for their lack of discipline in prayer. And prayer does become stale and meaningless if we don't know how to stir our imaginations and awaken our creativity to new thoughts, new patterns, and new possibilities of prayer." So this morning, we're going to do a couple of prayer stations. Now, for some of you, yes, they were here last night, and you can do them again. For others, you might like to sit and pray as you reflect in your seats as we listen to the music. But also, we have been doing our mosaic cross throughout the week. And Ali had the pictures going on the screens as you came in this morning. And we were talking about it last night, that at our 4 p.m, and I shouldn't start listing because I forget people, but at all of our activities through the week, people have been gradually adding to our cross. And we spoke about how, in our lives, we come to God in our brokenness. And He accepts us for who we are. And it's because of His love for us that we know that He will accept us, that He loves us. But when we all come together, like these are people, like yes, people did 1 or 2 or 5. Some people got quite excited. But this represents our church family and people who have been through our activities all throughout the week. And we come together and we're connected together, and our brokenness is made beautiful because of the love of God and all that He does for us. And so this will also be completely filled with the grout in a moment, and wait till the grout comes. Everyone got very keen last night and we're putting the tiles onto the wood. It won't stick without the grout. So if we just wait for that, and that whole area will be filled. And I'd like everyone to take part if they can, because we want to complete it today. And then by next week, it'll be all fixed up, and we'll be able to show you the final outcome. So we have that here. Over at the balloons is an opportunity to celebrate and to praise God for what he is doing, and you can write those on the balloons there. At the table, we have an opportunity to put a word of who we might want to be praying for, or something we're praying for, on the Scrabble. Let's see how well you can connect them together. And then up the back, we're praying for people. Who's the person in your life that you feel needs prayer at this time? You create the person, and then you can either take it home as a little bookmark or something to remind you, or in the foyer later you might like to add it to the prayer wall that is out there. And then at the back we have a prayer chain. Is there words to the music we're going to listen to, Ali? As you listen to the song, there might be a word or a line that stands out to you, and we invite you to write that onto the piece of paper and attach it to the prayer chain. So they're the ones we'll participate in right now. As we listen to the music, feel free to wander around in this room, and then afterwards we'll have opportunity to do some other things during morning tea in the outside. But just stay within this space, and we'll just have a few moments of prayer. Again, you don't have to move, but that is available to you if you're wanting to do that right now.